update on the build. Well, I went ahead and laced the wheel, and yeah, I'm gonna have to get some custom spokes. There is enough difference. This is the flange is actually quite wide to the point where a standard 26-inch rim with the spokes from the other hub motor. Pretty much every nipple bottomed out. As you can see, they're turned to the limit. So there's almost an inch. Well, almost all the thread is too much all the way around. I did that for a reason. This way I can measure off and I can get the proper spoke length. It is somewhat dished, so I mean you could use it, but obviously the spokes don't go super tight. And some of them are just plain loose. But I had to do it this way. This way I can get the proper size guesstimate anyway. I mean, I always have a little bit of thread to play with. If it does stick out the other side here, I can snip it off or grind it off. But I've never really had that problem for a while, since the double butted anyway. So that's this is probably going to be the hardest part of the whole build, is getting this laced up properly. I might end up getting 3 or 4 different sets of spokes that probably would work, but they don't, you know what I mean? Unless I can find something that it's definitive that will give me the size, like if they have it on their website that a 26-inch rim on this model of motor will be this long or whatever, you know what I mean? But I doubt it. It's pretty much buyer beware when you buy a motor without a rim. It's not my first rodeo anyway. I mean, I did this for 12 years with bicycles, so okay, so well, the batteries are done. As done as they're going to be. I keep balancing them up. I couldn't find the room to put my booster pack in the container, so I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I mean, I can ride around with 48 volts. Okay, it actually would have decent range. It's got good amp hours. But if I wanted to fly around, I need to set up another wire that has a plug on it that you can terminate. That way I can use it this way, or I can add the extra booster pack here and fly around the neighborhood for fun. Even if I was to just strap it on top of one of the batteries like that, wouldn't be a bad thing. I was thinking maybe even make a bracket and set it here for when I want to boot around. That'd be alright. We'll see. I haven't got to that stage yet. I just figured I'd let you know that you cannot get a booster pack in there unless you go with bigger containers, and I don't want bigger ones. The batteries actually work really well in these containers. Check that out. Yeah, very nice. I'm interested to find out how hot this BMS gets with all the foam and everything else. We'll find out in the summer. The other side's even weirder than this side. Actually, give me a chance to turn the bike around and show the other side. A lot of work to turn it around. This thing is heavy on the back end anyway. What's a surprise with all the batteries in it? This is the other side. Yes, officer, it is not a bomb. It's pretty good though. Same deal. I'm hoping the foam will keep the batteries from bouncing around and bottoming out. We'll find out in the summertime. I'll be able to tell right away. If it is, and if that's the case, then we'll I might try a bag and spray foam method, which you would wrap the battery and everything in a plastic bag and basically just set off a spray foam bomb inside this thing. Wait for it to dry, cut it open, and take the battery out of the bag, and then that would be the void that the battery goes back in. So if it's like that, then we'll get something that's a little bit more denser. Denser? Is that the name for it? Yeah, I guess dense. Or solid, whatever. Anything is better than that foam, I can imagine. Yeah, that's the other side. I was redoing the wiring. I was running into some problems with the controller that I couldn't figure out. And then I went and looked at my phone. That's the software that goes with the Bluetooth with this. And it was telling me that there's a Hall problem. So I did some further investigation, and I found that new aviation plug that I spent hours putting on the bike. is defective. So now I got to pull that apart. I'm probably just going to the way I'm looking at the build. This wire that comes up from the hull is basically disconnected right here. So I'm just going to make it solid. I'm not even going to put a connector on here. I'm just going to bridge it and shrink wrap it and be done with it. If I have to take the wheel off, then I have to take the whole wiring harness with it. It's not a big deal. I barely take it off anyway. That's about it. I can show you everything is running. The batteries are done. The main breaker I put in there. Yeah, that's normal running would be 53 volts. Obviously with the booster pack it goes up to 79. It's going to be fun to ride. If I didn't have the issue with the aviation plug, I could have took it for a ride right now. It's ready to go. I still have brake issues. The front one's leaking in the master cylinder, and the back one's leaking in the caliper. So I'm looking at a new set of those anyways. Anyway, let's unplug this. I have to keep sort of trickle charging these batteries once they sit for a bit. That way they can balance out a little bit more. But they're good to go. That's out of my hair. This is going to be a problem. Stay tuned for that. Once I find the size, I'll obviously post it. Other than that, I'm hoping I can at least, if the weather stays clear and I can fix that aviation plug and remove it, I can finish the wiring and take it up for a boot. Even at 48 volts, I just want to go for a ride, man. It's driving me nuts. Take it easy, guys.